What happens when you put together a guy in his 40s and his buddies who plan to help him lose his virginity? Well, easy, you got this film. Let's talk about The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Doyle, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2005 rom-com, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, released by Universal, directed by Judd Apatow, who produced the film with Clayton Townsend and Shauna Robertson, starring Steve Carell as the titular character, along with Paul Rudd, Romany Malco, Seth Rogen, and Catherine Keener, plus a host of others. It focuses on this 40-year-old virgin who's an employee at an electronics store, and, well, his buddies, aka co-workers, resolve to help him lose his virginity. This film was so big as Apatow casted Mr. Carell after watching his performance in his previous film, Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy, which came out a year before this. This was released in August of 2005. Anyway, Carell co-wrote the script with Apatow, based on a sketch Carell created with the second scene where a man aged 40 hides a secret. Anyway, here's the story. Andy Stitzer is a shy 40-year-old introvert who works as a SOC supervisor at electronics store Smart Tech. He gave up trying to have sex after various failed attempts and lives alone in an apartment with a collection of action figures and video games. When a conversation at a poker game with his coworkers David, Jay, and Cal turns to past sexual exploits, they learn that he is secretly still a virgin. Andy is mortified upon discovering the next day that everyone else at work has learned about the secret, including their boss Paula, who is attracted to him and later privately offers to take his virginity. He almost quits work in humiliation before David counsels him and recommends trying again to have sex. David, Jay, and Cal become determined to help Andy achieve this. They all give differing advice on how to interact with women. David invites him to join them for a speed dating event and unsuccessfully tries to reconnect with his ex girlfriend Amy there. Jay drags Andy to various social events, books a painful chest waxing appointment, and sets him up with a prostitute, which all end with embarrassing results. Cal advises Andy to simply be confident and ask women questions instead of talking about himself. He practices this on a bookstore clerk named Beth, who quickly becomes intrigued by him. David gives Andy his pornography collection, encouraging him to masturbate. Andy eventually gets a date with a customer named Trish Piedmont. At the end of their first date, they almost have sex but are interrupted by her teenage daughter Marla. Trish suggests they postpone the sex. Andy enthusiastically agrees. They decide to abstain until their 20th date. Their relationship flourishes over the following weeks. She encourages Andy's dream of starting a business and helps fund it by selling his collectibles. After Marla argues with Trish over wanting birth control, Andy takes her to a group information session at a sexual health clinic, where she is mocked for being a virgin. Andy admits his own virginity to defend her, earning him Marla's respect. Meanwhile, David suffers an emotional breakdown at work over his obsession with Amy and takes a vow of celibacy, which leads to Paula giving his sales duties to Andy for the day and later promoting him to floor manager due to his high sales quota. As Cal takes on Andy's previous role, he hires a woman named Bernadette to work at the store, hoping to match her with David so he can move on from Amy. After Jay's girlfriend Jill breaks up with him due to his infidelity, he concedes to Andy that sex can ruin a relationship. Following a reconciliation with Jill, Jay later invites Andy and the others to a nightclub to celebrate her pregnancy. All right, now for the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Trish tries to initiate sex with Andy on their 20th date and becomes upset when he resists. They argue and Andy leaves to meet his friends at a nightclub. He gets drunk and leaves with Beth to have sex at her apartment. Cal gets David and Bernadette to hook up while Marla convinces Trish to reconcile with Andy. At Beth's, Andy sobers up and decides to leave without having sex just as his friends arrive and encourage him to go back to Trish. Andy returns to his apartment to find Trish waiting for him. She has found David's porn collection. He tries to explain, but she flees in alarm and disgust, fearing Andy may be a sexual deviant. While pursuing her on his bike, Andy collides with her car, flying through the side of a billboard truck. She rushes to his side, and Andy finally confesses that he is a virgin. Trish is relieved and accepting, and they profess their love for each other, and they eventually marry in a lavish ceremony with everyone in attendance having generated roughly $500,000 from the sales of his action figures to pay for it. Before having sex for the first time, the film ends with a musical sequence where all the characters sing and dance to Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine. End of story. So, what did I think of the 40-year-old virgin? Well, it's been a long time since I last saw the film, but I managed to watch it again because I did have the unrated version on DVD, but I gave up on it years back. But now I'm back with 110%. After watching the theatrical cut for the first time, I thought the theatrical cut was a little bit more better and what have you. But anyway, yeah, I thought it was fun and what have you. It did so well and became a big success as it made 109 million here in North America and 67 million internationally overseas, as it went on to make 177 million worldwide. It got good reviews as well, especially for Carell's performance and the film's well-meaning yet bawdy humor, which was a point of contention by some conservative commentators as well. Now, it's came out with 84% at the end of 2005 on Rotten Tomatoes Tomato and became the year's best review comedy on there. And they added, it proves that Steve Carell has the comedic chops to carry a movie and provide a good share of laughs. Anyway, it got a good set of performances. Really something. I really gotta give it credit and what have you. It was just so funny and what have you, and I thought it was really, really a lot of fun. Now, now in retrospective commentary, Rotten Tomatoes said in this one, Steve Carell's first star turn scores big with a tender treatment of its titular underdog, using raunchy but realistically funny comedy to connect with adult audiences. Now, of course, this was Steve Carell's first big performance in a leading role after he recently had, well, supporting roles in Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy the previous year, and Bruce Almighty, which was out a year before that. Look for a review of that coming soon. I might think of re-reviewing Anchorman as well, since this year will be marking the 10-year anniversary of its sequel. We'll see. Stay tuned for that. The film also won numerous awards, including Top 10 Films of the Year at the American Film Institute Awards. It won a couple of Golden Schmoes Awards. Well, not a couple, I mean four of them, for Best Comedy, Best Surprise of the Year, and Steve Carell won Best Breakthrough Performance of the Year. It also won Best Line of the Year for a little something called You Know How I Know You're Gay? Yeah. It also got nominated for Best Movie at the MTV Movie Awards as well. Along with Steve Carell was nominated for Best Male Performance, but he didn't win. He did win the Best Comedic Performance. Now, again, the film was nominated for Best Movie, but unfortunately lost to Wedding Crashers, which came out the same year and was, well, just before this, and that was also a big hit. Anyway, so I had to give credit for its story and what have you. Its score, which was done by, let's see, Lyle Workman, was good. It does have some pretty funny fun tunes and what have you, some pretty memorable ones. The little Aquarius Let the Sunshine bit was real good too and what have you. It's a wee bit more longer in the unrated version though. Now, as for our cast, on the other hand, I really appreciate Steve Carell's performance as Andy. He was very good and what have you. Catherine Keener played Trish, and she was very good. Now, she was eager to take on the role as a change from her previous strong dramatic performances, living with wry comedy. Paul Rudd, who also appeared in Anchorman, played David. He was pretty funny. Romany Malco played Jay. He was good. Seth Rogen played Cal, who after this he'd go on to star in a couple of Apatow's next two films, which were Knocked Up and Superbad. Look for a review of that film coming up next month. Now, I'm still going to give you my review of Knocked Up this week, though. Elizabeth Banks plays Beth. Jane Lynch played Paula. There's also Leslie Mann, Kat Dennings in one of her performances. Before we even saw her in Thor and being half of TV's Two Broke Girls. Minnie Colling, also from who was also part of The Office with Steve Carell, which got its star on NBC, the Americanized version. And of course, she was also on The Mindy Project, and also more recently, she voices titular character of HBO Max's adult animated take on the bespectacled, well, Scooby Doo character Velma, which I've heard the show's not really good. But anyway, and there is a host of others. Yeah, so many. You will get a good laugh from the 4-year-old virgin. I think it's pretty funny and what have you. Has a lot to offer, and despite being a rom com, it's also factually considered a buddy comedy too in ways since, well, Andy's buddies try, well, his coworkers help him out. So overall, with everything said, would I recommend the 4-year-old virgin? The answer is hell yeah, definitely. Look into either version of the film if you want to. I mean, it's your choice. You be the judge. But anyway, I thought the 4-year-old virgin, it was absolutely a fun-filled flick. So anyway, oh yeah, the chest waxing scene was probably one of the most memorable scenes and what have you. You left your crazy head off at it. So anyway, what did you think of the 4-year-old virgin? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you my review of Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Or it might be Knocked Up. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to decide which one I should do next. Well, I'm going to do Forgetting Sarah Marshall first, and then I'll do Knocked Up before I do Bedazzled 2000. That's going to do it, all right? Okay? So next up will be Forgetting Sarah Marshall. So thank you for watching, and if you like this, check out my reviews for these other films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review on Wedding Crashers, one of the films I was just talking about. In the upper right hand corner is my review of another Apatow film, and that being Bridesmaids from 2011. Or if you just want something, another kind of raunchy buddy comedy and what have you, go to the bottom left hand corner and see my review of the 80s film Porky's. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.